Integrated facilities management have grown and evolved in the last few years. But just how are these changes affecting the real estate market? You're watching Savills Shares. Welcome to Savills Shares. Today we have Su Chen, Group Managing Director of Facilities Management and Facility Services of Savills Singapore, joining us. Welcome, Su Chen.
Thank you, Jack.
Now, you have recently stepped into the role of Group Managing Director for Facilities Management and Facility Services at Savills Singapore. What is it about this role that excites you?
I'm very honored to step into this role at this pivotal time. With more than 40 years of experience in real estate, property and facility management, and I've seen the industry have evolved, and I would like to build on what Savills has achieved and bring the team to the next chapter with energy and purpose.
With more than 24 years in large-scale integrated facilities management and having led major contracts across both public and private sector, how do you see your past experiences shaping your approach at Savills?
I want to build a eco-integrated FM and property facilities. Not only it operate efficiently, but it has to be agile, tech-driven, and people-centric. In my view, people is our asset and they are very important. They are the brand ambassador at the site there. So we have to groom and train them and so they can do their work better at the site there. And I want to be more than a service provider. I want to be a strategic partner to our client.
Right. And in your career across the public and private sector in FM itself, what are the biggest shifts that you have seen in the industry over the years and what still remains constant?
Traditionally, it focused on operation and maintenance. Now it focuses on asset enhancement, user experience, and long-term sustainability. They are no more a caretaker of the building. Now they are more of a value creator to the building.
Right.
What is constant is that since the more than 20 years back and even now, we are always short on manpower. The government is actively looking into this profession and try to make it more glamorous.
Earlier you said to add value, create value.
Yes.
What sort of value do you create from there?
For example, like sustainability, we talk about energy saving, so that the landlord able to save money, and also create user experience in the sense that we must know how to do the layout of the premises and to how to have a better indoor air quality. So all these are, when you go in, you feel very shocked. The building is there, or, the way they decorate, I feel very nice. The air I breathe also much better.
Well, that's very important.
Yeah.
In fact, I've learned something from Simon Raper, who is our head of Savills Design last year when he was on the show. And he shared with me that, as part of design, if you raise the ceiling to 3 meters in height, the rate of MC drops across the board by at least 1/3. And it has something to do with the air circulation. Right. Savills has established a new property and facilities management board under your leadership, bringing together FM and PM and cleaning experts such as Robin Liao, Winnie Wong, and Patrick Peck. What are your immediate priorities for this board and how do you plan to foster synergy across these different business lines?
My priority is to review the organization structure and see where are the overlaps and where are the gaps and where we can create synergy and cost efficiency. The other thing is I want to set the service standard, how we deliver our service to our client. I want to make sure that we are fully and relevant accredited so that we can position ourselves to tender for more jobs. And I also need to review the technology piece, which is very important nowadays. I have to review the existing software that we have and whether we need to do enhancement and also whether we need to have new technology adoption. I also want to review identify the operation gaps and put rectification in place if there are any other gaps. Regarding collaboration, I must say that Savills has done a very good job. And the business line has been giving leads to their colleague to follow up and so forth. For me, I would say that if I may intend to have a periodic meeting with some of these business lines to have further collaboration. And if need be, if we have any issue or project issue at hand, we may want to form a task force to look into it so that we further reinforce our collaboration and synergy.
And how do you think clients are going to benefit from this board itself?
In my view, I believe that we have to train our site staff to do the marketing also. That means we have to have train them well so that they, including ourselves, will be able to articulate the various offerings that Savills have. If there's such a lead, then the staff will have to refer the lead to the appropriate business line leader. In this way, I feel it's a win-win situation. First is that we cast our marketing net very wide. The other thing is that our clients have easy access to our Savills offering.
It goes back to your original point that they are brand ambassadors.
Yes, they are our brand ambassadors. In fact, they are very important. I always tell our staff, they are like SQ staff. They are the one who serve the client, and how they behave, how they talk is very important.
Right.
It creates the image to the people. Yeah.
How do you think the emerging needs of clients today, especially in a post-pandemic world, is Savills going to evolve its services to meet these demands?
Okay, the thing is that after pandemic, the client expectation has changed. They focus more on hygiene, flexibility, smart building, and sustainability. For hygiene, they expect to have a touchless system. That means they want to have more facial recognition, no thumbprint system. They want to have their building to be well ventilated, improve indoor air quality, improve indoor monitoring system, For flexibility, for example, for those company that is on hybrid work model, they want to have adaptable layout. So anytime their people may come back to work full force, to adapt to it. The other thing, they also want to have flexi lease also to cater for the change in the needs in the workforce. For smart building, client want to see real-time data on energy consumption, equipment status, the footfall in the building, and predictive maintenance. Or the other thing is sustainability. Now more owners want to have their building to be Green Mark certified so that this would enable their building to command better rental and market value. To meet all these changing needs, I would say Savills has done pretty good because they done through technology, innovation, and expanded service line. For example, they have sustainability business unit, which is very critical at this moment.
So now you've been recognized for excellence in leadership by organizations such as RICS and SIFMA. Looking back, what do you see in your past that has led you to where you are today, winning all these different accolades?
I must say is that I enjoy doing the work and have passion doing what I'm doing. And I have to identify the right people to work with me and must be able to identify the strength of my people. And I focus a lot on teamwork. We work together as a team and we drive ourselves forward. And that's how we have the momentum. As time goes by, we have secured more and more jobs and different type of job also, because in FM it's very wide. For some may be residential, commercial, data center, or Singtel exchanges, and like Sport Hub, all those. So these are the different jobs that we acquire. But along the way, we learn as a group and we move forward.
You mentioned teamwork. How do you encourage teamwork though?
Teamwork is that we must create the environment. And every now and then, whatever it is, we always work as a group in the sense that I never hide anything from my staff. I will tell them what it is. I share with them the ups and the downs so that we are very transparent. And my colleague within the team also very transparent. That's how, there's a trust.
Okay.
So once when you have a trust, there is teamwork.
Now, having managed regional FM operation in Thailand and China, what lessons from these different markets can be applied to Singapore? And what unique challenges or opportunities do you see here?
Okay, the thing is that when I manage China and Thailand, is an overseas market, and I always tell our staff is that we cannot use our culture, our value to benchmark this group of people. The way we work also very different. For example, in Thailand, when I about more than 20 years am required to set up the operation of Thailand because newly set up company in Thailand. So I have a group of M&E engineers to Thailand. And the way they talk, in Singapore, they talk very loud. So when they go there, they talk equally loud, maybe louder, I don't know, because there's some language barrier. So they talk, So our Thai colleague offended. He said, I don't want to work with your people. They are very rude to me. I think maybe because our staff talk loud and the mannerism. So from there onwards, whenever we post our people to Thailand, we always tell our colleague is that, so you have to talk to them very softly. They are very soft-spoken type of people. Now you'll find that we have to learn from them. Especially in China, you notice? What we learn from China nowadays is the technology. In fact, some of the technology we are using are from China, especially the IoT sensor.
What are the opportunities do you think exist in FM or even PM over the next 12 to 18 months in both Singapore and beyond?
In Singapore, I'll say FM market is still growing, especially, in the past, government thought about our FM is merely managing agent. But as time go by, they have integrated a lot of services into the contract, like soft FM, hard FM into the contract. Now even they go even further. That means they cluster a few of their building, maybe MCI building, NEA, cluster together and call for that even bigger. As time go by, the value is getting bigger by the day. So the opportunity here is very big. Overseas market, I would say they are not as mature as Singapore.
In what sense?
In the sense that, to my knowledge, is that they are so focusing managing agent role. Not like we have, we have a revolution, you see, managing agent, integrated FM. Now we call it AFM, aggregated facility management.
Right. Does that signal an opportunity then?
For Singapore.
Right. To go into these overseas markets.
To go overseas market is still at the infancy as a managing agent. But for them to grow is a bit, you want to grow the business, it takes time.
All right. Now, if you're able to go back in time to speak to your 21-year-old self, what would you tell her?
FM is a ongoing learning. It's very endless learning. Because FM scope is so wide. You have cleaning, security, pest control, M&E, even M&E component, we got electrical, aircon, we got plumbing and so forth. Then we talk about sustainability, we talk about safety, we talk about environment, we talk about cyber security. There are so many service lines that we have to know. This service line here on changing for the good, government also looking into all these service line, and they legislated some of the thing, So we have to keep on learning new things in all these service line. It's an ongoing learning process. If you like to learn a lot of learning, FM is the best area to go.
So that's what you would tell your 21-year-old self, to go and learn.
Yeah, go and learn. If you like learning, yes.
And is there anything that you would say yes to or no to if you are given the chance?
I'm excited about FM. FM is changing every day, But I think maybe it's good as what you say. It's good to step back, to reflect and see what you want to do more than FM. Okay? Which in the last 1-2 years, I share with you that I start learning to draw.
Mm.
And my drawing, a lot of people say, not that bad.
Not that bad, which is good.
So maybe I still want to continue to learn painting. Yeah.
It seems that so much of your life revolves around FM and the work that you do. You are very, very passionate about FM and PM for sure.
Thank you, Jack, for having me here.
Thank you for joining us today. And thank you for joining us as well. You can catch Season 1 and Season 2 of Savills Shares on YouTube Music as well as Spotify. And do remember to subscribe and follow us. Till the next one, God bless. This podcast is for general information only and should not be taken as professional advice. Savills accept no responsibility or liability for any direct or indirect or any consequential loss from the use of, reference to, or the reliance on this podcast or its content.